Frost. All right, so we could see a bit of a gas pool action here. Orc is a patient player, like we said, but he's also the guy who will throw out some cheeses.
The winner of this goes on to face Harstam in the upper bracket final. That's what we'll be casting next anyway. The loser goes on to face Poultry Pouch, I believe. No, actually goes on to face... Is it Bling? Someone.
I think so.
Someone. They face someone in the losers round 3. That much I know for sure. But anyway, game 2 has started, and dTefel is 1-0 up. He's spawning in the top right-hand position. It's the Green Zerg, dTefel. And in the top left, his opponent, representing FMEsports. Down a game, battling to stay in the upper bracket. It's Orc.
I've decided what I would like to see out of Orc, but what we probably won't see. Okay, we're not going to see it. There's a build that Jamesykins likes. It's called the Aster build, where basically you get 10 pool Banelings, but you also get speed. So you have 10 pool Speedlings and Banelings, and it's really dumb and it should never work, but it always does. But he's not doing that.
Is that like your pro tip? Is that your laddering build in CVZ?
No, but that's how Jamesykins 2-0'd Orc in the Planetronics, remember?
Yes, it was. I think that should be my new ZVZ ladder build.
It should be.
Can you teach it to me?
It's really not much to teach. It's literally just 10 pool, 10 gas. It might be gas pool, actually. I don't do it. I don't know. Ask Jamesykins.
I'm going to ask Jamesykins because I feel like this is a ladder stomping build.
Ask the Huggy Bear. Okay. I like this. 14 pool out of dTefel. He went 16 pool last time, I think. But 14 pool out of dTefel. He's being very safe. He doesn't want to lose to any shenaniganry. And this is why he's so hard to cheese. He likes to play 14 pool, even versus Terran. And it's going to be hatch first.
It's hatch first. So Orc opening the same way. Everything looking pretty cool. But I think with the fact that a hatch first up against a pool first is the exact same opening that we saw from these two last game, everything should be fine.
And yeah, I mean, I'm kind of interested to see whether or not we see Orc play Gasless again. I'm not a huge fan of Gasless on Habitation Station just because you can really punish Gasless by just taking the gold as a third base really fast. Whereas usually, if you take a really fast third, it's nice, but it's not that big a deal because you're cutting your actual current economy. You're cutting some drones to get out that hatchery earlier. So it's not the hugest advantage that you gain, whereas getting a gold base is a pretty big advantage. So I would almost have preferred to see Gasless here, but we do have gas coming down from both players. dTefel is finishing up right now. Orcs is about halfway done. And yeah, we don't have any crazy shenaniganry coming out just yet, but it's definitely possible that we'll see some aggression coming out of either of these guys off 2 bases.
I really like that Orc has adjusted his play and isn't going gasless, actually, because that was probably the biggest problem he had in game number 1, was that because of the gas, or the gas display, dTefel was just greedy and took a third by gaining the map control by going gas. So I think playing a bit more stand-up, playing a bit more level, not trying to get a sneaky advantage anywhere, puts him in a bit more of a macro spot, which, as we mentioned countless times, Orc is a patient player. And going into the later stage of the game, I reckon will suit him.
Well, he doesn't look like he's going to be putting on any pressure too soon. Neither of them do, actually, just with a ton of drones on the way out. And, well, the drone count is currently 23 for Orc, 21 to dTefel, but dTefel has a couple more in production, so they're basically going to even out right about now. And, yeah, I mean, at this point, we're just kind of waiting to see what they're going to opt for. Orc, interestingly enough, has more than 100 gas and is not getting speed, so I'm not entirely sure what he's doing. He could throw down double Evo chambers now and have 250 gas when they finish. It kind of has to be that, doesn't it? I don't... Oh, wow, that's a fast layer.
That is a really fast layer. That was 5 minutes 25-ish. No, 5 minutes 23. That is ridiculously early.
And an Evo chamber to come along with this. So he's going to go roaches. He's probably going to get a very, very fast roach speed. And that's a really important upgrade. Having a lead in the roach speed is a very, very nice little advantage to have.
It lets you chase down, it lets you retreat in a roach-on-roach engagement, which is probably the most important thing. If a fight doesn't go favorably, or if it does go favorably, you can either stop it being all over, or put the nail straight in that coffin. So this is going to be quite interesting. dTefel is opening with some Banelings. Once some roaches are out, though, Banelings become very obsolete. They're not an effective unit there, so overall in the early game, blind basically build orders, Orc is coming out better.
Yeah, just a tad here, but the queens aren't fully walling off. He's got to be careful with this, but there's actually not really that many lings. It's like 6 lings. So, dTefel gonna be applying what we call very, very light pressure. And we do have roach speed on the way already. And if dTefel's really on his game, he might have noticed that that roach warren is moving, and that means that there's a lair done. But I don't think you're looking for that this early, so I don't think he noticed.
Do you know what this roach run reminds me of? More so. I found out during the long game Orc had against Mini Razor on what swarm hosts were based upon. It's a frog that lives underwater, which keeps its young in its back with tons of holes over it, and when the young have grown, they climb out of the back of the frog. Like actually from outside of it, through its skin, through these holes. It was disgusting.
That sounds really creepy.
It was creepy. Someone at MSI showed me a picture of it. But anyway, that roach run looks just like it.
Wow.
It was terrifying. I'm going to show you in a break, and you'll be traumatized.
We have a ling run by. This is a little bit cute. And this will pick off the queen. So that's a nice little pick off here for dTefel.
Couple of links for a queen. Nice trade. dTefel, oh my goodness, he's going Mutalisks again.
Oh, right. Okay. I think
another queen went down. Wow.
Wow. Okay. Okay, but I actually think that the Mutalisk choice may favor Orc a little bit, because this super duper fast lair means he's probably going to be going for a push right around now, and Mutalisks are obviously not done yet.
What?
All right.
There's a decent number of roaches. He's up at 14 roaches, but there's 26 lings with more on the way and spines being produced. The third hatch won't
it's
be
going to
saved.
buy time. It's going to buy time for the spines. That's the biggest thing here. And, well, the spines should be done in the natural, which means...
Whoa, they're trying to move down.
Wow, that is a lot of lings coming on in here to get a nice surround here. The roaches are not ideally positioned, but with the +1, they will be able to shred these lings with just 2 shots instead of the normal 3. Are there enough lings to actually deal with this? It looks like there might not just be. A couple more are streaming on in. Actually...
Now there might just be.
Yeah, there might just be, and that's actually going to be a bit of a cleanup here. But Orc sending more units on in, trying to get them what he can, but there are Mutalisks on the way here for dTefel. An Infestation Pit on the way for Orc, which worries me a little bit. I'm kind of hoping that's not for Swarm Hosts.
Well, even if it is Swarm Host, it won't be good because there's 13 Mutalisks coming out. And by going to the third, the Spire... Oh, actually, the Spire has been scouted. Never mind. Infestors should be what comes down.
We will have to wait and see. You never know with Orc. And, well, we have a couple more queens being constructed. A couple more spores just being rooted in place here. Thus far, nothing coming out of that infestation pit. Just going to be waiting and seeing. The Mutas flying across are going to be able to clean up the rest of these roaches. And once again, the roach pressure from Orc has done absolutely nowhere near what it needed to do. Pathogen Glands is on the way now. Additional spores on the way. It's nice that Orc has a third base, but this muta count is very scary here.
Up at 15 mutas. Rotron on the way behind this. A Spore Crawler not in an amazing position, not yet built either. dTefel could focus that down, but instead he's going for those Overlords. Will have to retreat, therefore. One of his mutas getting pretty low, but backs out.
The wonders of muta regeneration.
I wish I could regenerate that fast.
Alright, there is a Swarm Host coming out, but I don't think that means he's going Swarm Host. Let me explain. The default key for Swarm Host is A, which is the easiest thing to misclick in the world. So every now and then you'll see somebody make the misclick Swarm Host, is what I like to call it. And that's what this guy is. This guy is the misclick Swarm Host of the game.
But you got to be concerned though. Even if you accidentally try Swarm Host once, are you going to get addicted? And just start producing them anyway?
I don't think so. I've tried them before. They're very, very boring to play. They're not addicting.
Okay. Unlike Mutalisks. Mutalisks are.
I love mutas, man. Mutas are my life.
I like the way that when I so infrequently play on my caster account, it takes... When I play, my MMR is so low, I can just go mass baneling. That is addictive to play.
That is funny. I have actually done that in a tournament game before. Anyway, we do have a Whiffed Fungal here from Orc. dTefel doing his best to apply some pressure with the Mutalisks. Moving on in here, wanting to snipe a couple more workers here with these mutas. Really nice decision making to just split off a couple of the mutas, so as to risk not having them all fungled and killed.
More Mutalisks positioning themselves around, just splitting up. Doesn't want to engage with the entire Mutaflock because if there are chain fungals, there's dead Mutalisks. It's how it goes. So,
and there's tears.
And there's tears.
Me. I don't like seeing mutas die.
Don't worry, Penguin. It'll be fine. They regenerate.
It's true. Not if they die.
Not if they die. That would be overpowered.
Once your mutalisks are dead for 60 seconds, they just respawn with full health.
That would be ridiculous. I have these fears now.
They just like fall onto the ground and lie there in like hibernation for a minute and then just like get back up.
You have to run them over with a tank to make sure they stay dead.
Oh! Bungle! That's going to be a couple of dead mutalisks for free here, and that's a really, really nice pickoff here for Orc. That is what he needed. He needs things like that to really solidify his position in the game here. Orc is sitting on a very nice upgrade lead, too. He's got a double upgrade lead. It will be reduced to just one very, very shortly. But dTefel, he's got a very solid army as well. A lot of roaches here, a couple of hiders here, but no infestors.
A missed fungal, unfortunately. Well, it hit some overlords, but now the engagement coming through. Very big arcs for both players. However, dTefel's mutalisks snipe off a gas behind this in the main base of Orc, dealing some economic damage.
Meanwhile, the fight over on the other side of the map looks like it's also going in favor of dTefel here. The infestors are out of energy, which means that's just about 12 supply. That's dead supply. The hiders are also taking a lot of damage here as well. dTefel with a very commanding...
Oh no, the infestors!
Sudden. And oh no.
Those infestors.
That was a disaster for Orc. Orc absolutely just lost everything there and didn't really get anything done. dTefel's in a solid spot now. He's got a good almost 40 supply lead here, and this is going to be exceptionally difficult for Orc to come back from.
The infestation pit is a target that could get sniped off here, actually, with those mutas. It'd be out of range of the spore cooler. I'm not sure if dTefel's realised that. Looks like no, he hasn't.
Let's pick off on the gas again.
Yep, which is frustrating. It's about 100 gas per minute that you're denying.
Yep.
This is a hugely advantageous position for dTefel right now.
To say the least. At this point, dTefel's just biding his time. He's just not overcommitting. He doesn't want to overcommit and just like lose to a really stupid overcommittal here. So he's just playing it safe. He knows he's ahead. He's just going to continue playing the safe game here and picking off gases here and there. Going into the natural with the main army now, though, and this is not a good engagement position to start things off for dTefel. He has so much, though, that it might still be enough. The muta's coming in from behind to try to help on out here. Orc is plummeting in supply here. dTefel looks like he will be able to break through, and there's not much left on the ground for our FM Esports player. Orc is being shut down. GG is called, and dTefel will take the 2-0.